I'd like to welcome Erin Riley to eSchool News TV. She is Executive Director of Platform Shoes Forum and the creator of Zoey's Room.
Zoey's Room is an online community for girls ages 10 to 14 to creatively engage them in science, technology, engineering, and math.
Is your focus on the curriculum, or is it on delivery?
It's a combination of delivery and curriculum. Specifically, we knew when we started the program that the biggest area that girls were interested in was the social tools of technology. So we wanted to start where their interest lies in order to first engage them. So we created Zoey, who's an avatar, and Friends of Zoey, which are additional avatars online, to welcome them into her room and to encourage them by introducing them to role models. The community aspect really got the girls first engaged. From becoming just users of technology, we then introduced them to tec-treks, which is our actual curriculum. But since we're informal learning, we call it activities and challenges. And the tec-treks are broken down into a story. We always start with a story for mindscaping and a visual representation of breaking down complex terms through these metaphorical stories. And then the girls go on to do a Z activity, which is an online activity encouraging them in one of the treks of science, technology, engineering, and math.
I was struck by your use of the term informal learning. What was the point of calling it that?
Because we see ourselves as a supplement in a classroom. Perhaps if a girl is excelling, a way for her to have some extra activities to continue to be encouraged in that area, or even if not, even if she needs just a little leg up in a different way of learning, because we really are visual and audio, kinesthetic through the challenges in the tec-treks. You can try a new approach with them. But also we sell a club in a box that a teacher or a parent, a volunteer, a youth organization can purchase and use it as a supplement in their after-school programming.
Is the focus mainly after school and before school?
Yeah, Zoey and her friends, and when we introduce Fab Females to the program every other week, is during the after-school hours. And we range from now East Coast to Pacific time.
Well, one of your goals apparently is to encourage more and more young girls and young women to get involved in those fields.
Yes.
And what is the state of things there now?
Well, it is improving. You know, when we first started Zoey's Room, it was when AAUW had come out with How Girls Are Shortchanged in School. And when Rice University came out with, you know, they are equal with boys and girls. They are actually using technology. However, they're not designers. That really kind of was the instance for us to start really exploring the tec-treks further and taking them beyond the social tools. Now, in regards to statistics, the statistics are still low, and we still need to continue improving them. The economy, 20% of the workforce, you know, even though women make up 50% of the workforce, only 20% are in these fields. And even lower for leadership fields, such as, you know, a CEO or even a senior vice president. That statistic currently is 7.8. So we still have a long way to go to really build their self-esteem, encourage leadership roles in these fields, and also continue the pipeline so that when they move into high school and college, they're actually taking more advanced classes in these fields.
How many people belong to Zoey's community right now?
We currently have 500 members. Our majority of members are in Maine and Massachusetts, and then sporadically through some licensing of our program with Alliance for Technology Women, they are starting to open Zoey's Room programs in their different chapters: Phoenix, Seattle, Dallas, Albany. The New England Region YWCA also is a member of our program, and they have doubled since the first year of 100 girls. They now have 230 girls participating.
I can't help wondering if you're thinking perhaps down the road of Joey's room.
Yes.
Ah.
We are actually. We really saw this as a model, and we are putting out a case study in the fall on creating online learning networks. And using Zoey's room from our pilot years is really pointing out what are the social tools that work in an online learning environment, to how to cross between cyber and real world learning, both experiential offline and then what it is like online in a community and on your own. But from that kind of analysis, we have started looking at other educational gaps to address. And one of them that we're interested in is childhood obesity, especially because America has the most overweight children in all the world. And from our study, we also realized it was the same age group of Zoey's room, that middle school was the largest group to actually in the past 30 years grow in type 2 adult diabetes. So we are thinking of actually calling it Nemesis room, which in Latin means in excess, and it will teach kids about living a healthy lifestyle through this character-driven community, but also tec-treks in health and physical fitness and nutrition.
As I'm sure you're very well aware, that there are a lot of concerns these days about safe communication on the internet. What are you doing in that area to reassure the girls and their parents and teachers and so on?
Yeah, we actually came to this, we didn't start with internet safety, but it kind of just fell into our lap to really start exploring it and really become knowledgeable in this area. When we started the program, we had 16 girls, and we went direct to the teacher in 16 schools in Maine. And those teachers were our point of contact, and they verified the children. They were in charge of their own girls. However, if a teacher lost her after-school funding or something personal came up that she couldn't continue the second year, all those girls in that community were dropped. And so we were back to square one, having to reinvest finding time of getting that school reconnected, because parents were calling us directly and saying, well, you know my daughter, Zoey's met her online, can't you just let her join on her own? So we tested for a full 2 years a registration process, and have just this year analyzed it and come up with a way to follow the COPPA ruling so that we don't get too much information when a girl registers. But in the parent permission section, we check the identity through a third-party verifier, the identity of the parent. And that database that we're checking the identity on is the only one that has access to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's database. We also integrate internet safety, cyber ethics, and media literacy across each room we're developing. So it's not the end-all be-all, but instead it's an integration of teaching while we're identifying and hopefully making a difference in an educational gap. There are 12 rules in Zoey's room, and the girls kind of learn them very quickly. And they start kind of monitoring each other and knowing that this is a safe space, so they want their space to be safe.